We call it people technology.
Well, not for the first time. The powerhouse that is the Mumbai Indians are batting first in Chennai, and they're not quite getting the runs. There's been a gradual descent every time the Mumbai Indians have batted first. Once they lost the toss, 3 times they won. Their scores just keep descending: 159, 152, 150, and today 137. It took numbers 10 and 11 to eventually see out the 20 overs. Will they still be able to defend this? We'll have that sort of chat on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket for T20 Time Out, powered by Intel. Dale Steyn and Ajit Agarkar with me. And what happened there, Ajit? They looked good at one stage, 67 inside 7 overs, looking good for a big one, and then it went horribly wrong.
Yeah, I think they got what they deserved, isn't it? With after that start and with the way Rohit batted, Surya, perhaps he plays that shot, trying to play down to third man, doesn't get going, gets out, and then Rohit, for some reason, still wants to be very aggressive, which he can't. I mean, you could say he was batting well enough to hit that for a 6, but just after a fall of wicket, perhaps could have been a little bit more watchful, having seen these conditions. And then Hardik Pandya comes and it's one straight in the air. So in spite of all that depth in their batting, today wasn't a good batting performance from them, at least at the start of that innings.
Yeah, what explains this repeated lack of a good first inning score by the Mumbai Indians, Dale?
Jeepers, I can't put my finger on it, but knowing Mumbai Indians, they'll probably defend this. The way that they've been going about their business with the ball. But the thing is that there needed to be some responsibility taken once Sky got out. Rohit probably batting the way that he's batting and feeling the way that he's feeling. He probably felt that he could have hit that for 6, but Hardik's wicket really was a turning point right there. Once he got out, he put his brother and Ishan Kishan under massive pressure, because the next over, straight away, the ball was given to Ashwin. And I think it was the following over of off-spin that ended up getting a wicket. But he just put them under so much pressure, probably a really unnecessary shot to play at that time. And particularly in the way that he's been going about in this competition so far, you felt like that was a perfect opportunity for him to give himself maybe a couple overs and then get going. But he'll be very disappointed with that. Mumbai overall will be pretty disappointed with that.
Are they not quite understanding what gears to play at what stage of an innings in Chennai, Ajit? Is this a lot to do with the conditions?
Yeah, it could be. It could be because they're not used to what Hardik Pandya walked in the 9th over, if I'm not wrong. That's where they probably can't decide who walks in at that number 5, even though they have 3 good players in Hardik, Karan Pollard and Krunal. They're not quite sure. Then Krunal walked in. It's because they've never had to be in that position. One of the top 4 or one of the top 2 of the top 4 have generally taken them to about 10, 11, 12 overs. And then it just becomes a lot easier for them to then approach that inning. So, they perhaps, but it's strange because now they've played enough games with that. And Rohit looks in terrific form. Batted again superbly, timed the ball well. Surya, perhaps, like I said, he plays that shot again. He was playing well, so they're getting starts. And Ishan Kishan's got 20, although he had to work hard for it, particularly after the wickets fell. But they're probably not used to getting Hardik Pandya or likes of Pollard in before the 10th over, around the 10th over, and then don't know how to approach that innings because one of their top 4 or 2 of their top 4 are generally going at that point. So, but it's like I said, it's you think with the tournament, okay, they're getting the wins, but you think they'll keep getting better and knowing the conditions, they might bat a bit better. They were in a position to do that. It's not like they've lost a lot of wickets up front and they've struggled. They were in a position to do that, so they should have certainly done a bit better.
Yeah, they did. Hardik Pandya, the batsman, certainly seemed short on runs, Dale, and they took a call to send Pollard before the Pandya brothers' last game. That proved to be pretty impactful for that innings. Pollard took a little bit of time and then teed off towards the end. We've seen that happen before. Today they went different. They went Hardik Pandya coming in at 5 and Pollard came in at 7. Now, are these things that are confusing the Mumbai Indians? Could they have just gone with what they did in the last game? I'm guessing it's easier to come in at 3 for 70 rather than 5 for 80.
Yeah, and like Ajit says, they're probably just so used to playing at the Wankili where, they know that Pollard's going to come in the later stages of the game. There's not going to be any surprises in the wicket. The ball's going to come onto the bat. And we can talk about that. But, what is probably the most disappointing for them is that they just haven't been able to adapt. And they've played all their games so far in Chennai. So you'd think that they would know now what it's about. These guys are good enough cricketers to be able to adapt, and they were well on their way. I mean, Rohit was on his way. Sky has been, every time I've seen Sky bat, it looks like he's going to go on to make a big score, and then somehow gets out. But they're all looking in top form, barring probably Quinny, who just hasn't gotten going yet, and that can happen sometimes as an opening batter. So that's not a problem. He's a world-class player. He will pick it up. But it's that middle order there. They just don't quite know what's happening when the guys have to get in before the 11th, 12th over. If they're batting in the 10th over, there just seems to be a massive problem over there for them right now. And then the last game, you see Pollard coming in. This game, you see Hardik coming in. And then, losing their wickets and becoming really difficult. Ishan then having to struggle his way to 20 runs, watching wickets fall around him. There is a bit of a problem over there, and they're going to have to address it as soon as possible.
It does seem though like this is the IPL for 38-year-olds or 39-year-olds or 40-year-olds. Amit Mishra with the 4-wicket haul. Ajit Agarkar today still looks good.
Yeah, he's always taken wickets. You can see his numbers, you see his record, and he's taken wickets, and that's why he's been around for as long as he has. Leg spinner, okay, this pitch has help in it, but otherwise also leg spinners are gold dust really if you have a good one. And Amit Mishra certainly is. I mean, even that ball to get Pollard, he's not read it. The one to get Rohit as well. Rohit was very aggressive against him. Threw it out wide a little bit. Rohit had to drag it and a bit slower. Gets the bottom of the bat. So that's experience for you. Even when someone like Rohit Sharma is going, who is so hard to stop, batting 40 odd, and then you beat him in flight. It's always you need that experience and be calm under pressure, which Amit Mishra is. And exceptional spell of bowling, especially when Delhi wanted it, because Mumbai could have run away with it if they'd got another 30 or 40 runs.
Yeah, on the captain as well with his curious decisions, Dale. Marcus Stoinis takes the new ball. Rabada doesn't bowl out. Avesh Khan needs to bowl just 2. Lalit Yadav bowls 4 tidy overs. Everything seemed to work today.
Yeah, some strange things happening. And I was listening to James Hope speak there, actually, and he was just saying that Mumbai probably not expecting somebody like a Stoinis to open the bowling and expecting maybe Ashwin or somebody. So maybe a little bit of a masterstroke there. It did work for them tonight. Steyn is the kind of bowler that, given the new ball, he can go. He can actually go for a little bit of runs. He's probably preferred outside of the first 6 overs. So it worked for them tonight. And Rishad just keeps surprising us with little different things that are happening all the time, whether it's a punting influence or whether it's his decisions. I mean, if it's anything the way that he goes by his batting, it really does fall onto his shoulders and his decisions, which is fantastic to see. But also happy to see Amit Mishra bowl well. He does well in Chennai, and he picked up a whole bunch of wickets tonight. I'm very happy for him.
They've managed to successfully defend lower and lower scores. Do you think if there is a bowling attack that Mumbai might just be able to, but even so, 137, well below par?
Yeah, I mean, they could well defend it. It certainly is below par, but and Delhi should get those runs. But we've seen what's happened in this year's IPL. You seem like teams are well on top of the game and have it in their bag and seem to lose their way, particularly in Chennai. But Mumbai can't keep getting away with it. I think they've been in a couple other positions where they've had to really dig deep and then get being in difficult position and then still win the game. I don't think that batting performance they'll be happy with today. I'm sure they'd want to improve as the tournament progresses, whether they get the win or not. I mean, at this point, if you ask me, Delhi Capitals are favorites to win this game.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw Trent Bolt speaking to the Mumbai Indians TV channel, where he kind of said, "Can you guys stop making me bat this often?" So that's twice in 4 games that Bolt had to bat. That's 3 times in 4 games that Bumrah's had to bat. They're not probably used to this. Dale, the fast bowlers batting up.
It's also the worst thing in the world. Like, as a bowler who bats like lower down the order, I would have loved to bat higher up the order, because then if I get out, at least I can sit there, maybe have a shower afterwards. But these guys, they're literally going in, they're facing 2 or 3 balls, and they don't have a lot of time. They've got to rush off. They've got to get their gear off, and then they've got to get ready to bowl. It was my absolute worst when that kind of thing happened. So I know Bolt's probably making a joke there, but he's probably trying to send a message to his batters, and he's saying, "Please, guys, I don't need this to be happening to myself."
I
Yeah, I
thought
mean,
the Mumbai.
the Mumbai Indian bowlers are so spoiled. I mean, they've been such a good team that they've never had to put their pads on for sometimes the entire tournament.
That's
I
true.
mean, it's and suddenly in Chennai, 3 or 4 games, you see them losing as many wickets as they have. It must be pretty unusual for them.
Yeah, I mean, I thought as bowlers for the Mumbai Indians, you can travel light internationally. You don't need a full kit. You could just travel with but clearly that's not happening these days. All right, Dale, you'd go with that. Mumbai will at some point fall short of runs. You think that's the day today? Delhi to chase this?
Yeah, I mean, jeepers, I get it so wrong sometimes. Mumbai could defend this. The way that they've been playing, they could very well defend this. You never know. But I would say that it's probably one step too far tonight. To rely on your bowlers that much. The bowlers are probably also sitting there in the back of their minds thinking, guys, we've gotten you out of trouble twice already. They don't know if they can do it a third time, especially with this score.
How does Rohit Sharma start off if he has to give himself a chance? Jayant Yadav with the new ball likely, Ajit?
Yeah, he might look at that option, isn't it? Certainly Shikhar Dhawan there with the kind of form he is in. Prithvi Shaw only plays one way or he is aggressive. So you always have a chance. I think that it's not an easy pitch at all, to get used to the pace of it. So, but what Delhi have now is a target where they can take a little bit of time. If they keep wickets in hand, they have enough batting in their lineup to get to that score. Certainly not easy against this attack, no matter what the runs are, because the pitch is difficult. But he'll want to start. I hope he does. I mean, I know Trent Bolt swings the ball. It's a tricky one, isn't it? I mean, I'd still want Bumrah involved in the first couple of overs. Third certainly, if things don't happen with Jayant Yadav, those three, depending on how you use them. But you want to try and get a couple of wickets early.
Okay, quick rapid fire question. If you have to try and ask a poor Mumbai Indians fan not figuring it right now, why is their team not getting the big runs? Why is the Mumbai middle order, that powerhouse, not firing? Dale?
It's just conditions, really. That's it. So used to being at a ground and playing at a ground where the ball travels and they don't have to worry about it stopping and sticking and everything like that. And unfortunately, they just haven't adapted. That's pretty much what it boils down to.
Ajit?
Yeah, exactly that. I think that's the reason, and we've got to remember what a good score here is. Good score here is not a 180, 190. A good score might be 160, where they're about 20 short, or 150. Anywhere between 150 and 160 with their attack can still be a good score, which they are short of. But it's the conditions, and they haven't adapted as well as Mumbai Indians normally do.
All right, Ajit, Dale, let's see if we have a game that we still on our hands. If Mumbai can make a fight of this, they can. If any bowling attack can, they can. So we'll pick up the chat at the end of it on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket Info T20 Time Out, powered by Intel. But what a great opportunity for Delhi to snap this losing streak that they have against the Mumbai Indians. Could make it 1 win in 5 at least. And the Intel Fastest Fan First is still up and running on the ESPN Cricket Info Facebook page. So just head over there if you fancy yourselves some prizes after answering a few questions on the IPL. We'll see you at the end of the game then. If Delhi are to get this, it could be an early finish. If Mumbai take them deep, you never know what happens.
We call it people technology.
インテル入ってる。